hey! Hey everybody, welcome back to Loser to Lambo. Great to see you all again. If you're new, my name's Curtis. I'm on a 5-year challenge to go from pretty much losing everything to owning a house and a Lamborghini in 5 years. Alright, so I've had a lot of friends, family, subscribers, Instagram people. I've had all kinds of people ask me a bunch of questions about Forex. Now it seems that I'm making money with it. People have a lot more interest in it. Go figure. That's totally cool. I do understand. Alright, so a lot of questions have been asked is how do I get into Forex? Really, what is Forex? How did I find out about it? And yeah, besides the usual, like, how's that all going? Alright, so how did I find out about Forex? Well, actually, I found out about Forex when I was just a little kid. I just kind of found out but didn't find out. I was at a local swimming pool. A guy pulls up in this gorgeous Ferrari. I had to ask him, you know, how did you buy that car? How did you afford that car? And he's like, oh, I'm into Forex. I was like, oh, cool, Forex. And he's like, yeah, I gotta run. I was like, hey man, see ya, thanks. And he took off. I went home, turned on the computer, looked up Forex, like 4X. All right, so I was about 13 at the time, and found a whole bunch of stuff I shouldn't have been looking at. So then I'm like, okay, that can't be right. He doesn't take me for that. I don't take him for that kind of guy. So I was like, I must have done that wrong. So then I went and looked for 4X. So like this. So 4X's. As you can imagine, that didn't go much better. Actually, that was significantly worse. So I didn't hear about it for years, totally forgot about it. Then when this whole Loser to Lambo thing challenge started, I went looking. I went looking for how are other people affording Lamborghinis? Is it all doctors and lawyers, and do I need years of college? Like, what is it going to take me to get one of these cars? All I know is I want one, and I'm sick of everyone saying, oh, you need to be rich, you need to win the lottery, you need to blah, 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 blah. Because we all know that's not true. There's too many people on the list that are insanely successful who came from not only an advantage, but at a major disadvantage. I mean, Oprah, Eminem, Michael Jordan. I mean, it just keeps going. So, big list of people that came from nothing and grew really big. So I wanted to look, and I went and YouTubed how to buy a Lamborghini. And to my delight, I was seeing a lot of stock traders, big houses, and like not just one Lamborghini, but like a fleet of cars. And I was like, okay, so that's possible. And I went and looked it up, so I started looking up trading stocks, right? And I looked, and thankfully, I found chart analysis first. So you would, like this, on my iPad, which is what I do all my trading on, by the way, there's charts. And I found these charts, and, you know, the simplicity of it, and you know, how it was possible to find repeating patterns in these things, gave me a lot of hope, because I'm like, well, I can find patterns and things. I'm very visual, you know, and why not? Why can't I find patterns? If these guys can make a fortune doing it, right? So that was kind of how I, you know, was introduced to charting, and I then hit a wall. I hit a roadblock, like many people do on their path to a success or to a goal of any sort. And I found out that I needed $20,000 minimum to be able to seriously trade stocks. And I'm like, well, seeing as how my bank account is a negative number, I won't be doing that. Now, luckily, I found a video right after that video, must have been, because I kept looking, and I found a video right after that, and it was this guy called Ocean Sky, and he's like, listen, I want to talk to you today about Forex. And he's like, I made a lot of money doing this, and people can do this and invest in yourself, and it's possible. But the way he shot the video on this old phone, and it wasn't a big fancy production, and it was so simple. I mean, kind of like what I'm doing. It's super simple. And he laid it down, and he's like, listen, I've made big money. He's like, I bought my second Lamborghini cash from the profits of 3 weeks of trading. I was like, holy. So then I went looking, like, what's the minimum you can start with? Well, it turns out, I mean, the minimum you can start with is about $500. Now, everything I was reading and watching on YouTube and everything about trading Forex, it was, all of it was saying $1,000, do $1,000 minimum. Well, I busted my ass, pardon my French, even though I do speak French. So I busted my ass all summer and saved up a ton of money. And my other videos talk about how I did that. So if you go to Loser to Lambo, all my videos are a progression from then till now. So I then put $1,500 into my Forex account, a live account, after getting a broker, which was an interesting process. And but I did it, and I mean, it wasn't terribly hard. It was just being organized and getting the right papers signed. Not a big deal. I trade with my iPad and my cell phone, although I prefer to chart on the iPad. My cell phone, I can monitor trades, start a trade, end a trade, modify a trade. So I will sometimes on my phone. But yeah, I love trading on my iPad. I don't need the 3 and 6 monitor setups. You really don't. I can see how, if anything, that could, overwhelm a person. I'm not saying it's a terrible idea, and one day I might have like a 3 monitor setup. But for now, I mean, even for simplicity's sake, this is great. And I mean, I made $300, in a day and a half. But here's the thing, is I only did like maybe 10 minutes work. Like, I saw the pattern, set up my trade. That was like, that whole process was like anywhere from a minute, 5 minutes. Then as the trade was going along, I was trailing my stops. So I kept moving my stop loss up. Stop loss is how much you're willing to risk on the trade, how much, I mean, it could go down and stop you out, so that you can control how much you lose. I can be like, listen, if this goes down like $50 or $60, I want out. And boom, it'll cut you out right there. So you want to trail your stops, but you don't want to trail them too close, because then it doesn't give the market little movements to dip down. Let's see if I can find a good example. See how it doesn't just, like when it's going down here, it's not a straight shot down. It does spike up, comes here, spikes up, but then keeps going down. And you don't want those spike ups to catch you. So yeah, that's so with that, I trailed my stops, and like I said, it was nothing. I actually have a potential trade coming up right away. Go figure. And see where that pattern goes. And anyway, so I mean, let's say 10 minutes work. I enjoyed it. It was really fun to do, actually. So I did 10 minutes of fun to do stuff and made $300. Yeah, 10 minutes work, right? That's on one chart. Now, there's a potential to make way more money. On my demo account, which is free, okay, demo account, I went and I started with $3,000, and that let me trade a full lot, it's called. Now, here's where we get into some details for it. Okay, some things I need to explain to you so you can understand kind of how this all works. So, actually, to make it real simple, let's look for a currency pair. So, trading stocks is trading parts of a company, okay? Now, trading Forex is not like that at all. You're actually trading the strength of one currency against the strength of another. So, let's take when I would do, because I'm in Canada, and so let's do, one pair is called USD CAD. So that's US dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay, so that's, if you want to go to this, if I want to go to the States, I've got to go and buy a bunch of the American dollar so that I can use American dollars down there. Now, because the Canadian dollar is worth less, I get a lot less in return. Now, according to the live chart right now, to get one American dollar, I need to spend $1.26 Canadian. So think, well, how much does the dollar really fluctuate? Now, here's where Forex gets really interesting. Okay, I don't need it to fluctuate from like $1.26 to $1.27 or to $1.30, or those are big moves. I just need it to fluctuate a little bit. So when you're trading Forex, it's all based on pips. Percentage in point. So a pip, P-I, a pip, percentage in point. Now, what that means is I'm actually trading not on the movement of like $1.26 to $1.27. I'm trading from like $1.26, so 1.26. Now there's more numbers after that, more decimal places. So 1.26276. Okay, a pip is the fourth decimal place of this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, here. Number 7 there. Lucky number 7. Okay, so I just need that to move a little bit. I just need this number to change to be making money. Now, I have an account with $1,500. Now you're gonna be like, well, how is $1,500 gonna buy enough currency to be able to trade and make a difference while this moves and I watch the movement on charts? Well, there's something called leverage. Now, through a broker, I have an online broker that took some research and development to find a good one. And so with the broker, they give me something called leverage. So they leverage my account. So in reality, actually, for my $1,500 account, I can leverage that, or they will leverage that for me, and I have the spending power of $250,000. So if I'm trading USD CAD, I can go and buy $250,000 worth of US dollar, wait minutes, seconds, hours, depending on what pattern set up, and I can then go and sell it and make money. So like that's the pair I just made my $300 on this afternoon. I cashed that out at like noon. So yeah, it's actually, no, I didn't. I waited till I was home. It was about 3. Anyway, I finished that this afternoon, and it was on this pair, USD Canadian dollar. It was going up. It was in a pattern, and patterns. I mean, that's a whole nother video for sure. But as the charts move up and down, replicating patterns form in those ones that's called a bat, because it kind of looks like a bat, and then there's something called head and shoulders, and there's channels, and blah blah blah. So before I get too carried away with that, so I need how does my money factor into this? Is that so I have $1,500 or $250,000 of leveraged buying power, because I'm leveraged 200 to 1. All right, so with that, normally I could, on my demo account, I could trade a lot, a standard lot, and one lot. If I went into USD CAD, and you can go long or short. If I go long on the pair, it means that I think the chart's going to go up. And if I short a pair, it's meaning I think the chart's going to go down. Chart's going up means the US dollar is gaining value over the Canadian dollar. If the chart goes down, it means the US dollar is losing value in proportion to the Canadian dollar. Now, on my demo account, I could trade a standard lot. A standard lot meant that for every time that, like this digit, so if the 7 turned into an 8, and I was going long on it, that would add $1 into my account. I just made $1. And if this one went down by 1, I just lost $1. If I was saying it was going to go up and it went down, then I lost $1. Okay, so I was trading one lot. I was actually even trading 2 lots. With Ocean Sky, who said he bought his second Lamborghini with cash from 3 weeks of trading profits. He would sometimes trade 10 lots, which is incredible. $10 for every time this decimal place changes. That's absolutely incredible. So I used to be able to trade 1 or 2 lots. Now, something I learned from going from demo to reality, you'll want to know this if you do it, is that there's a margin percentage, and I mean that's crazy to get into. I won't get into details on that. Anyway, your margin, and because of leverage. So instead of trading 1 lot like I was used to, or 2 lots where I'd be making $200-300 in a couple hours, I'm now trading at, whenever this goes up and down, I'm trading at 0.2 lots. So every time this goes up or down, instead of the $1 or $2 I was used to, I know every time this moves one up or down, I'm actually going up or down 20 cents. So it's going to take me a little longer to build capital, but not impossible. I mean, it's just building, like anything else, you keep building, right? Keep throwing the money in there. So that's what I'm going to do. And as I build my account, I'll be able to trade, bigger sizes, bigger portion sizes. All right, next step. All right, chart analysis. So there's a couple ways to trade foreign exchange. One is you can trade based on fundamentals, or fundies as they call them. And fundies that's news. So you're trading based on news. So press releases about whether the US dollar is going to go up or down, or reasons for that, or there's a lot of pairs. You can trade on the pound. You can trade Swiss on Swiss. You can trade on the yen. These are all big currencies that you trade on, and you can watch for news to say, what state the country's in, and then trade based on that. I mostly trade based on technical analysis, and that's charting. I love charting. I absolutely love it. My roommate takes some interest in the fundamental aspect of it, and he'll tell me about big news announcements and stuff coming up, which is great. It gives me a heads up of possible big moves, so I can be careful with how much of my money how many, whatever, small percentages of a lot that I'm trading. So for chart analysis here, I'm going to start with candlesticks. So I trade. What do you need? What do you need to trade? First off, I guess that's important. I have my phone, an iPad, a little notepad, and a pen. That's it. That's it. I can trade with just those things. I have been trading with just those things. Totally possible, and it's great. Like I said, that's really all you need. So, and you'll need the free software MetaTrader 4. Now, candlesticks. Okay, so I chart based on a candlestick chart, which most of them are. There's a couple different ways you look at charts, but that's definitely the most common. And all the pros are doing it. I learned a lot from people on YouTube, like the Trading Power group. Candlesticks are, I believe, an old Chinese way of tracking rice or grain. It must have been rice, I would think. Anyway, that's how they tracked how much when they traded it, and we still use those today. How it works is if chart moves up and down, we got to zoom in on it. So we're at, what is the dollar at? 1.26286. 1.26286. Okay, now, once candlestick represents a certain time frame of movement. So you got different time frame charts. You got a 4-hour chart, or you actually got a weekly chart, daily chart, 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart, 15-minute chart, 5-minute chart, may even be a 1-minute chart. Can't remember, I don't ever use that small time frame. And depending on what chart you're on, will determine what each candlestick represents. So if I'm on a 15-minute chart, okay, so a 15-minute chart means that if this is where we are right now, okay, now let's say this moves, it moves up and down. So all of a sudden the US dollar is gaining value, US dollar is losing value, okay, gaining value, and then it stops as soon as that falls over. It stops there. Okay. So, in 15 minutes, the American dollar, because if this is USD CAD, the American dollar lost strength. So it'd be way down at like 1.26, 150 or something like that. It'd be down here. So then that represents 15 minutes. This is a 15-minute chart. 15 minutes of movement. Now the next candlestick opens up where this one closed. So if it opened here and closed here, well, the next one has to start where that one closed. So even if the US dollar gains value, and it goes all the way up here, and in that 15 minutes, it also went as high as this, and it also went as low as this. Okay, those are wicks, they're called. Anyway, so this 15 minutes is opened here, and the market closed there. So then, in the next 15-minute time frame, it opened here and went up and closed. This will be the close. Okay, closed way up there. All right, so you can associate different colors. Okay, so that's how this works. Is these candlesticks they're everywhere. These candlesticks will go up and down, and then what happens is that these candles start to have patterns in them. Now I'll try to do this remotely quick. Okay, now the next one will go here, down. Okay. And then this one. I don't know why I'm coloring that in first. There we go. Okay. All right, so this is 15 minutes, half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half. All right, so an hour and a half has gone by to make all these candlesticks come in. Now here's where I'll show you a very simple charting tactic. All right, I'm going to do a trend line, it's called. Actually, I'll do a channel, way better. So with these, you can actually find patterns. Now this is a very simple pattern as a channel, but you can make great money. I've made incredible money off of channels before. All right, so I can actually do a channel. So I'll take a bright color here. You can actually change the color of your channels in the app too, which is pretty cool. So take this, and I find out that if I do a diagonal line here and a diagonal line here, these are in it what's called a channel. And you can watch, and as this thing doesn't stand too good, as this goes up and down, at some point this will break out of the channel. So we'll have a candle that will break out. There you go. Now see how this candle is broken out of this channel. Well, that's a really good sign. Now, depending on what your trade plan is. So everyone's got a trading plan. So here's mine. Okay, so it's simple. Dog book, right? I didn't want it to be a super serious, crazy book that I never wanted to look at. All right, loser to Lambo trading. So I've got a plan in here with sheets of patterns that I've done and learned from and what they did, and I developed trading rules based on patterns. So every pattern I do has to follow a rule. Like for me, to trade a channel, I'm going to need to see another candle open outside the channel, because it ended here. This one ended here, so it'll have to open outside the channel and close outside the channel. Then I'll think about it. But usually this would be a great sign to show that the market's going to go up. And since we are putting money on whether or not the market's going to go up or down, it's pretty handy to know that it's going to go up. And this kind of stuff predicts it. So it's pretty neat. This is definitely doable. Anybody can do this. I'm learning on my own. I am essentially self-taught per se. I mean, I have people I watched on YouTube. I've read books. There's a lot about the philosophy of trading. It's really a mind mess when you see your money going up and down and up and down. Like I had that one trade, my $300 trade, I had it up to like $150, and it went all the way down to $60. But I didn't close it. I kept watching it fall because it actually stayed within my rules. It was actually not breaking a structure point that I figured it would. It was within a channel that was predicting it to go up. And sure enough, it went down a bit to scare people off, and then boom, skyrocketed back up and just kept going. I woke up and it was at like $165. And then by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it was at 305, and I closed the trade because it was that major structure line, and I didn't know if it was going to pass it, which it's working on doing right now, and still having a problem with. So yeah, I'm good with that. And I made that with 10 minutes work. So anyone can trade. It's really neat to do. If you're really curious, like check out YouTube, go to Trade Empowered. That's for a little more advanced. Don't start there. Sorry, I shouldn't have recommended that first. First step, you're going to want to go to here. The cool part is that with this modern day and age and people willing to share information, is that there's free courses available. There's paid for ones, and there's completely free courses. And I took the free courses and read the library books, right? Free is good. So you're going to want to go to this site, babypips.com. This site is absolutely incredible. It starts you out in a way that it's like classes, like you're starting out in kindergarten or by preschool, and then you got kindergarten, grade all the grades, grade 12, you have high school, and it just, it gets more and more advanced as you go along, but you're ready for it. And like I said, it's absolutely incredible. I can't say enough about it, and I definitely give it credit for a lot of my success. Once you've gone through all that, then I recommend going and watching YouTube channels like TradeEmpowered.com. We got Jason Stapleton, Jason Greystone, Akil Stokes. These guys are incredible. They're sharing great information, and it's so much of it is free. I mean, why not, right? You too can learn how to make $300, most of it while you're asleep. So yeah, super handy. This is what I'm doing, and I'm flat out telling you, you can do this too if you want to. It's free. It's available to anybody, and no reason you can't do it. So yeah, that's it for this week. That's what I'm doing, and at least now you know that there are options available to you, as there are options available to me. And it was nice to see, I guess, see when you can put a lot of hard work into something, you do enough research and development, that there are ways to make a lot more money without having to have years of college education and all that, because I'm just not prepared for that. So yeah, this is a possibility. As I grow my trading account, I will be able to trade bigger portion sizes, which will give me higher returns. The one blessing in disguise about only being able to trade smaller portions than what I'm used to is that for, throughout my, beginning as a live retail trader, I'm considered a retail trader. I traded my own money, and as opposed to like at a brokerage firm or whatever, where you're trading with, customers' money or companies' money. And the advantage is that my losses are really small. I mean, in proportion, right? So I mean, it's a good introduction into life. Is how I intend to buy a Lamborghini in just over another 4 years, and a house is doing this. So, while lots of my friends and family and all that are watching Game of Thrones, I'm spending the hours watching price action charts and learning about where the economy's at and this and that, just so that I can change my life. And then after, full intentions of watching Game of Thrones. Anyway, thanks for coming to Loser Lambo. It's great to see you all. If you found the video useful, definitely click that like button. If you want to follow my journey as I go from having lost pretty much everything to owning a Lamborghini in just over another 4 years, definitely hit that subscribe button. And I make a new video every Wednesday. All right, see you guys.